If you've been playing Zenless Zone Zero for a while, you've probably noticed that every update brings new agents into the game. And let's be honest, every time a new character drops, the big question immediately becomes, is this one actually worth pulling? With so many agents joining the roster, it can get pretty confusing figuring out who deserves your precious resources and who might end up sitting on the bench. That's where specialties come into play. In Zenless Zone Zero, every agent falls into one of four roles: impact, attack, support, or anomaly. Each of these roles plays a different part in your team, and choosing the right characters to build can make a huge difference in the long run. So if you're wondering which agents are truly worth investing in, stick around, because in this tier list, we're breaking down the best characters you should be building right now. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Zenless Zone Zero. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Billy. Alright, check this out. If you ever thought standing still and aiming carefully was a winning strategy in the middle of chaos, Billy is here to, well, kind of prove you wrong. Billy is a free attack unit in Zenless Zone Zero, and sure, he can dish out a decent amount of damage from a distance, but here's the catch. To really hit hard, he has to rely on crouching shot, which basically freezes him in place while he blasts a single enemy. So while you're busy trying to line up that perfect shot, any nearby enemies are more than happy to remind you that maybe mobility isn't overrated. He's fun for those one-on-one moments, but throw him into a crowd and suddenly Billy is less sniper sensation and more sitting duck. Definitely a character with personality, just maybe not the best survival instincts. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Anton, Corin, and Ben. Let's dive into the C tier squad, starting with Anton. Honestly, Anton is like that friend who's super hyped up but only shows his best moves when the timing is perfect. He's actually an A rank attack unit. Yeah, confusing that he's in C tier, I know, and shines when he enters burst mode. During this mode, his basic attacks hit multiple times, so if you stack him against enemies already affected with shock, you'll see some serious damage numbers. It's all about timing with Anton. Get it right, and he looks like a total beast. Get it wrong and well, he's just another guy swinging his arms. Then we have Corin, the quintessential single target specialist. She's an attack unit who absolutely loves it when enemies are stunned, because that's when her damage really pops. Her downside, she's basically allergic to groups. Her lack of area of effect attacks means she's not the best for crowd control. But here's the silver lining, her attacks hit multiple times on one enemy, so when you're facing a tough boss, Corin can actually pull her weight as a solid damage per second character. Think of her as your boss killer more than a wave clearer. Last but not least, Ben, our friendly neighborhood tank. Ben is a defense unit, and while his attack speed is slower than Molasses, he's not in this game to flex on damage. His real power comes from his EX special attack, which throws up shields to keep your team alive. This makes him super handy during brutal boss fights, especially if you're running him alongside Khalida. So yeah, Ben might not be your first pick for flashy damage, but when it comes to keeping everyone breathing and surviving chaos, he's your guy. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Soldier 11, Grace, Piper, Rena, Nekomata, Khalida, Seth, and Ambi. First up, Soldier 11. She's a fire attack unit who's really easy to pick up and play, which is always nice when you don't want to overthink things. Her damage shines especially against stunned enemies, and if you pop her EX special attack or chain attack to activate fire suppression, her basic and dash attack damage goes through the roof. Basically, she's your reliable point and shoot damage dealer with a spicy twist if you know how to time her attacks. Next is Grace, the mobile anomaly unit who basically says, shock me once, I'll do the rest. She deals consistent damage through shock, and the best part? Enemies affected by shock keep taking damage even if Grace isn't actively on the field. Pair her with a strong attack unit, and you can stack insane amounts of damage without babysitting her every move. Then there's Piper, another anomaly unit, but she's all about building up power stacks. Her X special attack and ultimate help boost her own anomaly buildup, and once she's got enough stacks, she can increase the party's overall damage. The catch? Building those stacks takes a bit of patience, so she's for players who enjoy the setup pays off type of gameplay. Rena is next, and she's basically the team's secret weapon if you like ignoring enemy defenses. As a support unit, she boosts your team's pen ratio, letting your attacks bypass enemy defense. While she's ideal for shock-focused teams, her buffs are flexible enough to fit in a variety of team setups, so even if you switch comps mid-game, Rena usually still brings value. Nekomata is where things get fun. She's a high mobility AoE attack unit who can absolutely wreck multiple weak enemies in a single swoop. With her quick attacks, dodge counter, and ultimate, she's perfect if your team is facing mobs instead of single bosses. Plus, she's just fun to watch dance around the battlefield, dodging and slashing like a pro. Khalida is all about stun and daze damage. She can stun enemies and significantly increase the party's chain attack damage on stunned targets. Pairing her with Ben makes her even stronger because she can leverage his shields while still dishing out serious daze damage. She's one of those units that makes crowd control feel satisfying. Seth, on the other hand, is a defense unit who plays the support game. His shields protect the team and also give shielded characters an anomaly proficiency buff. This makes him a solid pick for anomaly teams that want both survivability and damage support without having to rely on flashy attacks. Finally, we have Ambi, a free stun unit who is deceptively powerful. Her special attack can deal massive daze damage, but timing is everything. Using it after the third hit of her basic attack maximizes the effect. If you're patient and can time her attacks right, Ambi can turn a tough fight into a cakewalk, all without spending a dime. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Jane, Ellen, Minato, Chingy, Juyuan, Harumasa, Lee Keon, Nicole, Lucy, Buishara, Sukaku, Pan Yinhu, and Caesar. First up, Jane. Oh man, Jane is an anomaly unit who's basically the definition of mobile mayhem. She dishes out serious damage through her assault attribute anomaly, and if you pair her with another anomaly unit with a different element, you can trigger disorder. Basically, she's perfect for shaking things up on an assault heavy team without ever staying in one place too long. Then there's Ellen. This attack unit is like a high-speed wrecking ball. Her mobility is top-notch, her normal attacks hit hard, and her ultimate? Don't even get me started. It's powerful against literally any enemy size. Bring Ellen, and you're basically telling every foe, good luck catching me. Minato is next, and he's a bit of a daredevil. This A-rank rupture unit willingly sacrifices his own health to dish out even more damage. His defensive assist can smoothly transition into his special attack, raining a barrage of hits that makes you feel like a total strategist, or a mad scientist. Chingy is a stun unit who loves messing with enemy heads. Her basic attacks inflict tons of daze, and with subjugation, she cranks up the stun multiplier. She's versatile, so throw her on any team with an attack unit and watch chaos ensue, in a good way. Ju Yuan is an attack unit with a focus on range damage, especially when enemies are stunned. Her enhanced shot shells make her basic attacks punch way above their weight, and pairing her with a stun unit, Chef's Kiss. It's a recipe for obliterating anything in your path. Harumasa is an attack character who thrives at any range. Add mobility into the mix, and she's already scary, but pair her against stunned enemies or those hit by attribute anomalies, and suddenly Harumasa is basically a walking, please melt faster sign for your enemies. Lycaon is another stun unit who just loves daze. Tons and tons of daze with his basic attacks. He can slot into almost any team as the stun guy, but toss him on an ice team and his ice res shred makes him borderline terrifying for anyone in his path. Nicole is the free support unit you actually want to pull for. Her X special attack pulls enemies together, and her enhanced basic and dash attacks reduce their DF. She shines against small mobs, though big, beefy enemies might make her reconsider her life choices. Lucy brings off-field mischief. Her guard balls deal damage from afar and provide ATK buffs to your team after they explode. Basically, she's the kind of support unit who keeps the party entertained while still smashing enemies without ever stepping into the chaos herself. Pulchra is your off-field stun specialist. Using aftershocks to inflict daze, she's like a walking headache for enemies. Plus, at M6, she boosts aftershock damage and all types of damage, making her a solid pick if you want some extra chaos without being frontline fodder. Sukaku is the team booster you didn't know you needed. Her ATK buffs make everyone stronger, and in ice-centric teams, her freezing ability paired with ice damage buffs turns her into a tactical nightmare for opponents. Versatile, sneaky, and basically a gem. Pan Yinhu takes the defense role seriously, buffing sheer force for rupture. Agents is just the start. His ultimate can also heal allies, which is basically like giving your team a second wind right when they're about to rage quit. Last but not least, Caesar. She's a defense unit with a solid shield and a knack for stunning enemies thanks to her high impact. Her shield also gives an ATK buff, so not only do you survive longer, but your team hits harder while doing it. Talk about multitasking like a pro. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Zhao, Evelyn, Vivian, Soldier Zero Ambi, Yadari, Arya, Alice, Seed, Banyue, Yanagi, Orphe and Magus, Lighter, Hugo and Bernice. First up, Zhao. She's a defense unit who doesn't just stand there looking tough. Her Ether Veil buffs ATK and DMG for the whole squad, and her special attack can even heal allies. Zhao's basically the squad mom who also happens to punch harder than most. Evelyn is pure chaos in an attack unit package. She specializes in chain attacks that wreck mobs and bosses alike. Group some enemies together, unleash her kit, and suddenly you're wondering if the game even intended for that much destruction at once. Vivian is an off-field ether anomaly unit who loves disorder. Her Abloom ability boosts disorder damage, and she's at her best when paired with another anomaly unit. Basically, she's the quiet genius in the back, making everyone else hit like trucks. Soldier Zero Ambi is an attack unit who thrives on stacking White Thunder stacks on enemies to deal insane aftershock damage. Keep her on field most of the time, and you'll see enemies melt while thinking, wait, is that even fair? Yidari is an Ice Rupture DPS who loves danger. When her HP drops below 50%, her damage skyrockets, and thanks to her Ether Veil mechanic, she can throw out her ultimate more often. Low health, high damage, basically living on the edge. Arya is the main Ether anomaly DPS you want, if you like watching enemies get absolutely demolished. Her perfect pitch attack crushes anything in her way, as long as she's rocking fandom power. She's basically a rock star in combat, literally. Alice is an anomaly unit who's all about triggering assault and boosting disorder damage. She can even activate disorder with other physical units, making her perfect for combo heavy teams that like to feel clever. Seed is an attack unit with a sprinkle of support magic. Her basic attack damage is solid and enemies have a tough time interrupting her, making her one of those units that quietly ruins the enemy's day while looking calm. Banyue is your Fire Rupture DPS powerhouse. She stacks wrathful fires to enter her Visage of Wrath state, boosting damage and unlocking insane combo potential. Basically, she's the flamethrower you always wanted in your squad. Yanagi is an anomaly unit who loves to make everyone else stronger. She boosts disorder damage for all squad members and pairs especially well with other anomaly units of a different element. Synergy is her middle name. Orphe and Magus bring off-field fire devastation. Her X special attack, Heat Charge, deals massive damage while triggering the zeroed in stage, buffing her team's ATK and ignoring enemy DEF. Basically, she turns your team into walking wrecking balls. Lighter is a stun unit who deals a ton of days while giving fire and ice DMG buffs. If your squad is rocking fire and ice teams, she's basically that friend who shows up and suddenly everyone's performance skyrockets. Hugo is an attack unit who loves stunned enemies. He thrives on hitting them harder and harder. Pair him with a stun unit and watch him turn chaos into pure devastation. Bernice is an anomaly unit with a love for fire and pain. She specializes in burning enemies and deals off-field damage through afterburn. Basically, she's the kind of character who keeps your foes sweating even when she's not directly in the fight. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ye Xingguang, Yichuan, Miyabi, Astra, Yuzuha, Suna, Lucia, Dialin, Jufufu, and Trigger. Ye Xingguang is an attack agent who basically laughs at enemy defenses. During her enlightened mind state, she dishes out absurd amounts of damage, and thanks to her naturally high critical rate, building her as a DPS unit is almost too easy. If you like hitting hard without overthinking, she's your girl. Yixuan is a rupture agent who thrives on sheer force damage, which ignores enemy DF entirely. She's technical to use, sure, but when you nail her special attack and ultimate combos, she turns battles into pure spectacle. Precision pays off with this one. Miyabi is an anomaly unit who loves Frostburn and basic attacks, especially Shimotsuki. Equip the Hailstorm Shrine W engine and her damage skyrockets. She's basically the I came, I saw, I vaporized everything type of unit. Astra is the versatile support you'll want on any squad. She provides ATK and DMG buffs, lets other units use their chain attacks as assists, and her ultimate can restore HP. Basically, she's the Swiss Army knife of supports. Always handy, always strong. Yuzuha is the ultimate anomaly support. She buffs ATK, anomaly DMG, and anomaly build-up rate, making her the best pick for teams that thrive on anomaly shenanigans. If your squad is all about disorder combos, she's basically your backbone. Suna is another support powerhouse. She increases team damage by inflicting cat's gaze on enemies and boosts the squad's ATK through her Ether Veil. Bring Suna, and suddenly your team is hitting harder without breaking a sweat. Lucia is an ether support who juggles multiple buffs while triggering aftershocks and healing allies. She's one of those characters who quietly makes the whole team stronger without stealing the spotlight, but trust me, her impact is massive. Dylan is a stun agent who loves boosting attack and rupture DMG. Her chain attack can flow seamlessly into her ultimate, which makes her feel like a walking combo machine. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed action scene every fight. Jufufu is a next level off-field stun agent. She buffs the entire team's critical damage, chain attacks, and ultimates while stunning enemies. She can crank up your squad's decibels by 1000 and even refund energy to attack or rupture agents. Basically, she's a full-on team hype machine. Trigger is a long-range stun unit who loves aftershocks and sniping enemies from afar. She can daze and stun without even stepping into the fray, making her the perfect pick if you like, controlling the battlefield like a ghostly sniper. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.